or concerns with the operations of the library or of the funds. We simply want to see how you're doing, how the library is functioning, and if there are any ways in which we can assist you. We also want to take a moment to publicly acknowledge and thank you for your willingness to assist with the recent capacity problem at the elementary school and give up some of your valuable space. We know that wasn't easy for you, but it means a lot to the village and the residents. We appreciate it. So with the spirit of collaboration in mind, what can you share about the operations of the library so far this year? Number one, how is the amended space working out for you guys?
I'll let Courtney speak on that after I just put a point. Of course, it's smaller. It's functional. Storage space is limited. We had to store books, furniture, and the such. Courtney is such an asset that she is able to organize the space to the best so that we can still have the functional space for the little children, for the adult section. So I'll let Courtney let you know what it's like on a day-to-day basis. What were you going to say?
Well, and then I just add to that too, we are probably going to see more wear and tear on a few things. We've had parents are now picking their kids up in the library and they're sitting like on the children's furniture when we ask them not to, and they're wearing their shoes on the children's carpet in the kids section, so mud's getting all over it and that's being wrecked. And there are signs posted by the school everywhere asking people to not do these things. But again, when you have 20 parents picking up the kids, they're either not looking at the signs or not seeing. So I think we are definitely going to see a much larger wear and tear in those sections for sure. That was one thing that kind of stuck out to me anyway. I work in that room, so I get it.
Yeah, I agree. It's a little bit more congested,
Yeah.
not as doesn't flow as well, and I definitely will see a lot more wear and tear because of the way it's laid out. And again, the parents are in there. At least 20 sets of parents picking up because kids can't leave the classroom without an adult.
Yeah, and that's twice a day. So we're having 20 parents in the morning and 20 parents after school. And yeah, there's signs everywhere. The schools will be posting signs, please don't sit on the children's furniture, please don't wear your muddy boots into the library, but I said that parents aren't noticing or they're not reading it, yeah. So we are getting a lot more, like the carpet is already getting stained, the furniture is already getting scraped and scratched from their keys hanging on their belts. It's ripping into the children's furniture that we just bought last year. So I know every time I come out of the classroom, I'm like, oh, please don't sit on that. But again, I tend to leave and then come back and then they're right back where they started, so.
The other thing too is that if you have someone with excessive mobility, we've made it as much as we can, but if you have a larger size wheelchair, you may not be as accessible as you used to be. So that to me is a huge, not that we have too many patrons that.
But that's what was when we originally set up, I made it was mandatory that all the aisles was wheelchair accessible because we do have patrons that are in walkers or in canes that do have difficult walking. And it is quite congested right now, but it's workable.
But it's temporary.
Yes, and we do appreciate that the village has set us up with a storage unit, 100%. And we've worked between the storage unit and our shed. We've worked, divvied everything up nicely.
Okay, so were there any books that had to be called to make work? Well, you guys already just answered that answer. Where did those go? To storage lockers. Where are the library items being stored in a storage locker? So that's good. How is usership this year? Are the numbers steady, increasing, declining?
I would say they're increasing, yeah.
Even with the amount of students.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah.
It's a given that at least the children's cards would be increasing.
That's good. So how is the general feel of the library? Are the users pleased with the new renovations?
My understanding is they understand the concept of why we had to do what we had to do. Of course, the classroom is a number one, priority for the school to have room for the kids. So saying that, I think it was organized well enough that we could maximize what we could do. And they're not, I think they're quite surprised of how much we could still fit in.
And it's still, I think it's still quite early, everything is getting, knowing their feet, and it's early to,
All the wrinkles are
Yeah.
still being edited. Yeah.
So then, are there any ways that the village can support you guys?
Well, I know from what I've, like, I don't know if this is really on you guys, but it's something to maybe take into consideration. With the school now also checking out books and stuff, we're already having system issues. I know we were kind of talking where they're not able to check out all the books. So now they have to write a list for Courtney and then leave her all the numbers of the books. She has to manually type in all the numbers of the books that the librarian for the school couldn't check out. And then when the books are returned, if she's not able to return them, Courtney has to manually go through and return them all.
So Courtney's doing all the work, the librarian.
Well, because there's still system issues. So the librarian is still struggling, the system's constantly shutting down, freezing, or just not working, period. And so because she has all 6 classes in there throughout normally a 2-day period, the kids have to take the books home at that point in time. So then she's manually writing out the 12-digit number, and then Courtney's have to come in afterwards to go, well, all these books got checked out, but I couldn't check them on my system. We had that big issue last year, and we noticed a huge impact on Courtney, because then she was manually having to put in, I think we like clocked it to over 60 books a week, manually putting them in and marking them as
How
gone.
can that be fixed?
Like I wish we all knew the
Still
answer.
haven't set up their side of the system, they haven't done that yet.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. I don't know from that end, I just know from what I've seen as a board member, there's been a huge increase in that.
What was that, Danielle?
I know that's what I've seen as a board member coming in. It's like Courtney often has a stack of sticky notes. Like yesterday you had what, 6 of them? And she was manually typing in numbers, and Lorena's been manually typing them in. And so that's extra time that they're spending on school stuff because the system is still not where it should be by this point in time.
So would you like us, as a village, to phone the school and see why they
No.
haven't upgraded their system, or?
no, I think it will give it a week or so to get the wrinkles smoothed
that.
out, because there's a lot of changes right now and everyone's still getting,
Their feet are still
Yeah.
wet? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And part of our agenda this summer was trying to, before the energy had to be put into moving things around, was trying to figure out how we can help the school district. So that kind of took a sidestep so that we could do the addition of the class. So now we're going, kind of taking another step back into what we're planning to do in June and
Catch
July
up.
over the summer and do catch up to see what communications can happen to get things straightened out so that the school district, their system is flowing and Courtney is not being overrun with work.
Good. So are there any events planned that the village should know about?
Courtney has,
Wine for,
Is there any other ones? Are you guys doing any Christmas things or Halloween things or anything like that?
well, there's talk that we are gonna partner with the fire hall for the haunted house, because our space is quite a bit smaller.
Right.
and we don't have the same, sorry for interrupting, we don't have the same access that we did before with the class going through, because when we did the haunted house in the library, we actually had to shut it down, and we're unable to do that
Yeah.
at this point. So then if we can, go ahead. Courtney.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because we can't shut it down as easily now that the classroom's on the other side. Because we shut down for 2 days to decorate. So the fire hall contacted me and we'll discuss that. Christmas light up, always bring in a certain person.
Yeah.
And Tim,
You got connection.
I do have connections.
I'll have to work on him. He's not doing it this year, but don't worry, he will.
So in closing, we'd like to thank you for all your information. It was appreciated. As we had mentioned in the letter, we are hoping to have these presentations from you on a quarterly basis. So we look forward to hearing from you again in December about your successful year. So if that's okay with you guys?
We're going to see, as I put it in the letter, we understand your request for the quarterly. We're going to see if we can, like I said, in the letter is going to, we can send the reports, but to have someone being able to pull the time, because it's a busy season, the 6 meetings. So it's asking of the board 3 more meetings a year. That we'll let you know for sure if we can have somebody, but we just hope that you understand that pulling more time from the board members might be asking lots for them.
Yeah, that's fine. We just want more collaboration. We just want to be able to help you guys out and do as much as we can, right? That's all we're trying to do. We don't want to be doing nothing that
So
shouldn't.
as long as you understand.
Yeah, oh yeah.
The school board in our contract with the library, they're to buy so many books. Have they bought? I'd like to know.
We're going to request that they not buy any books because we have
We
a
have no
place to
space
put
now.
them.
No, okay. So can we bank that?
That's not our decision,
That's
that's
the
the
school
board's.
School boards.
Can you ask the school board to see if they probably won't?
What
but-
they're gonna do?
I think it's, as far as I know, it would be Jennifer's budget, not the school district's budget, correct?
I don't even know.
I
In all
can talk
honesty.
with the principal. This is the first year they have bought and have purchased books in the last, at least 5 years.
Yes.
Contributed to the collection in 5 years. But he said now if they purchase, it
Books,
be
you don't have
collaboration
space.
with us to make sure we have space. They can't buy a bunch of, nonfiction and we'll have no place to put them.
But if they damage them, the school damages the books.
They're good with replacing them, yes, yeah.
I do have an email that I just received about a meeting with Mike Reedman again, and I think I just received it like within the last day, to meet again in November. And I don't know if that includes, I don't know if anyone from the village had received
I haven't.
the same email, but if you wish to be involved, then I can CC Colleen and.
We'll call him what, November? Colleen's not in.
Well, at least I'll CC it to her and she can forward it to whoever the liaison, I don't know or I can let Chris
Yeah, give it to us.
the email. I don't know if he
Well-
CC'd, I just read it just briefly, so I don't have. it.
We'll do both because according to our policy, it goes to our liaison and then that.
Yeah, we have an appointed one.
But you have the request now?
Yeah, like I said,
Okay.
I just literally just received it within the last day and I haven't got the details.
Thank you.
Thank you for
That was
coming.
excellent.
Thank you very much for all that you've done for us.
Yes,
for giving
thank
us
you.
that space.
So appreciate your support too and
Yeah.
So you guys don't have to stay, even though you guys would like to.
thank
All entirely up to you guys.
Yeah.
Babies to put to bed.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you so much.
Unfinished business arising from the meeting. There's none.
This is
And then new business.
The council approved the renaming of the annual truckway parade to an old-fashioned Santa Claus parade.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I'm okay.
Good.
I think you'll draw more attention having a name like
And
that.
it's in Santa Claus, eh?
Well, it's actually not my idea, this is something that
Sandy?
came from Wes.
This actually came from
Al Count.
Al
Or sorry,
Cameron.
Yeah,
He suggested that we change the name because he thought that truck light parade was limiting.
The entry.
People were
Yeah.
thinking it's just a truck that could come in. That way, if we called it an old-fashioned Santa Claus parade, maybe more people would come and enter or whatever. So that was at his request that we did that.
All in favor?
Yeah, your worship, can I just mention, Al's actually does play the Santa Claus, do you know that? He's a Santa Claus guy, right?
Yeah,
He does it in the mall.
he won't be for this one. He doesn't want to be for this
He
one.
doesn't want?
Santa was real,
Oh.
Andre.
That's awesome. Well, I think the kids are watching our video. Hold on.
All in favor? 8.2.
It's an 8 item. Nobody's going to that?
Nope.
No? Just for information?
Yeah. Okay, and then the other one is an 8.3, the opening of the new
Trade Center.
Trade Center, and there's a 2-night thing there.
If you could just let me know if you're gonna attend, so I can RSVP. I know
You are
Barb and
not.
Lorraine are going. Anybody else wanna attend?
Yes, I'd like to go, please.
Okay,
We'll
you
I'll
do?
let you know tomorrow.
Okay,
There was something else I put on posted there, just before the,
Amended minutes and late items and other matters issued. Okay, correspondence, anybody see anything with the correspondence? None? Resolutions, none, bylaws,
Recommend the council give fourth reading and adopt property maintenance standards bylaw number 1008, 2018.
I'll second.
second. All in favor? 11.2 recommendation?
Council give first reading to bylaw number 1015, 2018, council procedure bylaw amendment.
Can I get a seconder?
Second.
Any discussion on this one? All in favor? The next one?
The council gives second reading by to bylaw number 1015, 2018, council procedure bylaw amendment.
Can I get a seconder?
I'll second.
All in favor?
The council give third reading to bylaw number 1015, 2018, council procedure bylaw amendment.
Can I get a seconder?
Oh, guess we can't say.
All in favor? Are you gonna earn this today? Administration reports, the CAO's report.
thank you, your worship. So we're spending the last few days here getting caught up from the week at UBCM. Mostly just trying to deal with a bunch of emails that came in. We had our regular staff meeting yesterday, as a matter of fact. Just sort of getting the lay of the land since coming back from that seminar. Haven't heard any official communication from the museum regarding the delegation invite that was sent to them along with the library board. But I will say I have had a couple of conversations both with the curator and one of the board members. So similar to what the library had expressed, they kind of took it to be a little bit, of an inquisition type letter. So I assured both those folks that wasn't the intent, that, really council just wanted to meet and have a discussion about how things were going. But I haven't heard anything back from them formally saying that, it was a yea or nay. So still awaiting that. We've been having lots of issues with recycling over the last couple of weeks. It is what it is. We're at the mercy of the Dawson Creek Recycling Center and their
Because
sort
we
of
don't have a
guidelines.
contract with them.
No, and you'd asked me about that today. I asked around. We're not aware of any contract, for the materials. Might be something to look into and draft up, because
They're slowly taking the stuff away, and what's the point of having those things then, right?
and the residents share those concerns too. Most of the complaints we're seeing is, well, this stuff's recyclable, why don't you take it? And the issue with what we're having to deal with administratively on that is the residents feel it's us putting these requirements and restrictions out there, when in fact we're not. We're just relaying, so I've tried to share that with as many of those folks as possible that I've spoken to.
So can we
But it's a tough
see
one
how
as well.
much our actual recycling costs? And then if that matches those bins over by the school, maybe we'll have to look at that again. Because if they're gonna start just taking whatever, how many
To
times?
get rid of recycling?
Well, how many times have they changed the containers? Well, how much have they changed, Chris? How many times now?
2 at least this year.
And then last year, there was something that they wouldn't allow us to have in there.
Yeah.
But
And it's-
there's so much stuff that you can recycle, it's insane to go back to it.
With that, I don't think it would be a cancellation of the program. It would be changing it from the curbside over to the school. We'd be asking the
You know how many
residents
people
to-
can't take their recycling to there?
That's not what I'm talking about, Colleen. I'm talking about the fact is that a lot of people can't take their stuff into the recycling plant.
It goes in the garbage.
So then what, our garbage comes up, costs
Well,
money?
we've reduced the garbage amount by doing recycling, so
But they're not taking it. So I'm saying is put those bins down there so that they can take it down there. The ones that we cannot have in our bins. Because people are just gonna end up throwing it in the garbage, and our garbage is gonna be costing us more money. Chris?
We're moving to have 3 bins installed over there for the soft plastics, the bags. The plan is to tie them to the maintenance shed next to the arena. Yeah, and we just gotta modify the bins to make it work so they don't wind up being full of garbage and stuff. So once those are ready to go, we are gonna do another public notice campaign, but we've done multiple ones just for this recycling. You know, a lot of folks are claiming they're not getting the notices, and Bud and I had a good laugh in the truck today that,
You guys did the mail drop.
well, we've done the mail drop, we've done email, or not email, but website, Facebook, and there's been 2 mail drops if I'm not mistaken. And then Bud and I chuckled today because one of the residents that was refused pickup today, she contacted us, why is this happening? You guys never notified me. Well, when he went and looked in her bin, the notice was sitting right at the top of the bin, and she claimed she hadn't received the notice about the
Oh, no. She's throwing it away.
She'd thrown the notice away without reading it, and that was the very document that was saying this stuff isn't allowed in your bin. So we're doing what we can, but we can only do what we can do. So, you know, we'll try out this process with those other soft plastics, but if council's open to the idea, I would like to maybe reach out to the Dawson Creek Recycling Center and see if we can come up with some type of written agreement that would at least
Yeah.
guarantee us a few years of the program and products that we're on right now, so we don't have to keep changing
Yeah, because
the program
every
6
year,
months.
since I've been mayor, they've been coming back with something, no, you can't have that in your recycling bin, no, you can't have that in your recycling bin. So they get a contract so that they can't refuse us not to have that. Right?
Yeah, I can have that discussion, okay? Been speaking with Urban Systems and Canadian Ramp Company, so we're looking to schedule a groundbreaking ceremony for the skate park probably next week. Talk was the 27th or 28th, so I'll send out an email to council with an invite once we firm up that date.
How are you looking at a Friday or Saturday?
That's a Thursday and a Friday, and since that discussion's happened, my Friday, I've actually got a meeting now with the PRRD, so we'll see, we'll figure the date. Some of the guys from Canadian Ramp Company are likely coming from Ontario, so we may have to work around their schedules a little bit. One thing for council to note, the cannabis policy is still outstanding. So you guys, when we presented that the first time, the direction from council was to bring it back for community discussions. We did that. The results were, were mentioned at the last one. I'm unsure what you guys want me to do with that policy now going forward. Do I bring it back in the same form, or? Yeah.
Can pass it.
Okay, so that'll be on the next agenda. And I just talked about our new Christmas tree is up. It's not as big as we thought it was going to be.
It'll grow.
One day.
And it was 6 feet in the pot, and now that it's planted, it's lost 2 of those feet, so it's only about 4 feet tall.
It's healthy.
It's healthy. It should survive a little bit better than the last one. Part of the issue we were told with the last one was 2 things. We were overwatering it, and the root base, due to the mechanical tree spade, wasn't enough to actually keep that size tree going. So we're hoping this one will survive a little bit better. So we'll decorate it as best we can.
Well, all the little kids will be quite happy because they can see the star on the
Yeah.
tree.
It's a nice species of tree. It's got a really good color. Yeah.
Make fun of my
We're also looking to doing a check presentation to the high school for the donation here. I am playing a little bit of phone tag with Principal Curiata to just nail down a date for that. So once I know that too, I'll send out an invite to council. Last but not least.
Unless he's thinking it's gonna be tomorrow night.
I don't know.
No?
I called him today.
It's an open, oh, sorry.
I know, go ahead.
It's an open house for parents and teachers to go meet.
But I got an invitation.
I know.
And I don't have kids in South Beach, so that's what I'm kind of thinking that maybe
They're trying to promote it as a community event,
Oh,
is how they've told the kids. And basically, they have this every year. They've just decided this year to invite delegates from all over the area to come and be present. so that it shows that they care and stuff.
And if that's the case, then that's maybe an oopsie, because when I spoke to Principal Curiata on the week before UBCM, we talked about doing something this week, but that he'd get back to me with a date. So if he's gonna line everything up, we're not aware of it.
Or then maybe I should just stop there before I go to work in the morning, stop at Sotheby's and
Okay, I
Have
can
a
let you
little
know if
chit-chat with
if he
him.
calls me back in the morning or not, and, yeah, okay. And last but not least, Poos Park, I understand Tiffany's here to discuss that shortly after the meeting here too, but, with the recent events, there's been discussion amongst yourself and the councilors at UBCM about what we might wanna do with the hours for the gates at Poos Park. Any thoughts on that?
I think we should do an impact statement on the damage that was done down there.
That's forthcoming, Councilor Smith. I've sent the email to the Director of Public Works asking for that report, but he's away at the Public Works Conference this week, so might be next week before we get final numbers in.
So sad.
I already did an impact statement, found out who the kids were, found out who the girl was. The RCMP are just waiting for the amounts of how much the damages cost.
Yeah.
So then they can go back after them for restitution.
Okay, when Blair gets back, I'll make that priority one.
Yeah.
So as far as council's concerned, you guys are okay leaving the gates open?
Well, they can go in there anyway, they can ride the vehicle up the bank and in there anyway. If the gate was locked, the gates are only keep the honest people out. They're not gonna keep the hoodlum on.
At the end of the day, I agree, Your Worship, somebody in a stolen pickup that's intent on getting down there will go. Not that this one was stolen,
No.
but, you know, in that scenario, it's not
They're
hard
gonna get
to,
in.
not hard to drive through a gate like
But we
that,
should
so.
actually in our budget, make sure we put some kind of fencing along there to stop the quatters going in there. Maybe
That's-
the regional district can maybe help us out with that fence too.
Okay. Okay, that's it for me, Your Worship, thank you.
Okay. Capital, projects, special projects? And when's this West Boost thing taking off here, Chris? Because,
I haven't-
It just says ongoing.
Yeah, I haven't heard that Urban Systems was down at the Poos Park grand opening, doing part of the community consultation, so that council did request that that be ongoing for a 2-month period. I don't know the date that wraps up off the top of my head, but I have had discussion with Urban Systems that we want this plan wrapped up, finalized and adopted before the end of 2018 or so.
And did you let everybody know that there'll possibly land donated to us?
No, I haven't, I went out, I did go out and take a look at that land. It's far enough out of town, it's about 8 kilometers. I took a few pictures. It's basically, darn, it's Riverside Road.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you go out Briar Ridge Road to the T, hang a right, and then do a couple of bends down the gravel, Councilor Smith, it's about 8 kilometers from town. It's .97, we looked it up on PRRD's mapping. It is across from a large residential property. It's basically vacant poplar bush trees, maybe
How
10
big?
inches, 0.97 of an acre.
For what purpose?
They donated it to us, the church did. They
Yeah.
wanted it off their books, so they donated it.
So if they're still willing to do that, I mean, we'll gladly.
Take her.
Yeah,
You could
I don't see a
donate
reason not to,
Why not?
so.
We could
Can I
sell
ask
it, make
you
money
for
for the
church?
church.
Sorry.
Presbyterian Church.
Oh, okay.
And then if I may just make a comment on the capital and special projects list too, in speaking with Edward on Monday about the skate park and a couple of the other projects, I talked about the sidewalk study. He's committed to having somebody here this week or next week to do the initial site walk and get going on that project.
All right, good. Get some stuff. Okay. And anybody else have anything to say about this? No? Okay, the action items. Get Chris and some action items. Minor extension, low cart fund, ongoing. What's this? The low cart fund.
That was for the solar panels, Your Worship.
And then the Child Care BC Space Fund, you did write that letter, right?
Looking to what's involved in child care. I attended a seminar at UBCM on that, so I'll have some information to share for council there about BC housing programs for that. type of
And
thing.
Barb and I do also.
Yeah.
Quick, woohoo, completed, look at all those completes. Oh, I just love it. Okay. Counselors, calendars. Does anybody have anything to do?
We'll have a meeting in October for the museum, but they don't have a date yet. He was mentioning the 31st. I think that's Halloween. So I'll find out for sure from Les when it is.
The 20th of September, I have the South Peace Health Council. And then I have also the school, too, South Peace School.
Would you still, worship, do you still want me to attend that?
The school?
Yes.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to. Everybody is more than welcome to. And then what Sandy gave me and Barb for what day is that, Barb?
Oh, October 11th and then October 12th. Or let's call it, sure.
And there's a meeting on the 21st at the museum in Fort St. John. I'm gonna try to make it, but so far I can't get off work to get out there, because it's all day thing, 9 till 3.
Which day, sorry?
I think you and I are both on that board.
That's the Northern Trails?
No.
Oh, okay. On the 21st?
21st, museum in Fort St. John.
October 21st?
That is the Northern Trails.
That's Northern
September
Trails, I'm
21st.
not on that.
No,
I'm
September
directed for that
21st.
up, and I'll be going.
September
Yeah,
21st, September 21st.
Yeah.
903 in Fort
That's
St. John.
Thursday, it's Friday.
Okay, so you'll be
Yeah.
attending?
I'm attending that, yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm attending that.
Okay,
You betcha.
Good work.
good.
Right?
Okay, now, where am I? Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, Counselor Evans, do you have a report?
I was away on holiday, so I missed the last library meeting. I have one thing I need to say. When you guys sent this letter out to the library, nobody even gave me the consideration of having input, even though it is my portfolio. Nobody even said anything to me, you never mentioned anything. I feel like, what's the point of even, you guys are just gonna do your own thing and ignore the person that's actually sat on the board, had the information, had the stuff. It really, really upsets me. I've emailed you my minutes, and if you're not, I don't know, I just don't understand it. I brought minutes, but Sandy says I've only ever brought one, I just feel like you guys are railroading me over, and I really don't appreciate having zero respect from you. And, I sit on this library, I sit on the board, I put many years in, and you can't even give me the consideration of a phone call or an email and asking me anything about it. We are elected officials that sit here and do jobs and do all that kind of stuff, and you have zero respect for us. And I'm just disgusted.
Okay, that's good. Johnson.
So we know the museum's done for the year, except for the 22nd, there is the Harvest Tea. They have lots of donations there, so get in and bid on them. They do still have $1,000 in their lottery account. There is a picture plaque of Loran Saffron made up and displayed on the wall over there now.
What is there?
Oh, I know.
You don't like that?
Well, no, Val said that it's not very good, so they put it really high, so that, because when they blew up that picture, Ray, it wasn't that good. So she was wanting me to get a good picture.
The first one Wayne sent me, the pixels and that, it
I
didn't
know.
come out clear,
Oh,
so.
you didn't get another one, did you? Oh, okay. Anyways, she asked if I could get another picture,
Okay.
so,
We'll follow you around the camera.
yeah. I'm never a good picture.
No, and I think that the museum took it kind of like the library did, because about the letter from the village, it says they sent the latest financials and curator reports with visitation numbers in response to the letter. And they're attached to the meeting, but nobody's come to see us yet, so I'll talk to Les about that. What else do we have now?
Les is looking, oh, can I interrupt, Ray?
Mm-hmm.
Les is looking for people to serve at the Harvest Tea. And I know that's really hard to do, and so anybody, if you guys know anybody
I don't know
that,
if my kids will do it anymore.
no, they're working, but they need some more servers. Or-
Have you approached the school, the grade 7 class?
Yeah, he came today, so I'll ask tomorrow and see.
Because that's good
But he
experience.
doesn't want somebody really young.
No,
Grade
great.
7.
Yeah,
And Les actually had the government contact him and ask him about information on the Poo Scooby water well, the old Poo Scooby water well. And the search for it was inconclusive. And that's about it. And I do have another meeting next month, but we're not sure on the date and when yet. And they are talking about new computer system, that's right too, because they're getting old and,
Yeah.
yeah, so they're looking to spend maybe $1,000 on the computer system. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Counselor Smith.
Okay, I attended the chamber luncheon on the 6th of September. It was a report on what's going on from different industries. I attended the Poos Park grand opening on Friday the 7th. And then I went to UBCM and I have a report for Mayor McKenny and myself. We met with the Minister of Education on Tuesday, September 11th. We stressed the importance of our school to be having an expansion so students are not turned away. It was also stressed that we had given our support by partnering with the school district and using part of our library temporarily. It is important as we are trying to promote development within our boundaries, and it would be a hard sell if new residents' children could attend our school. So they gave us some ideas to look into, and we also had, by conference call, a lady from School District 59 in with the meeting. We attend the Small Talk Forum. The government wants to change the children's services, the $10 a day daycare, in with the, change it over to the Ministry of Education. So if we have to build onto our school, we should partner with the school to build a daycare also when added on to the school. And there's money for building a daycare. I would like to suggest that we speak to School District 59 as soon as we can, and with their support, we can start applying for grants, which by January 2019. The Montgomery new school in Port St. John has included a daycare in their new school, and they have daycare from 0 to 3. So it's already been done, so we can sort of look what they did as a model and how they did it. We met with the RCMP for increased policing in Poo Scooby and rural areas. 2017 total calls were 9,442. Rural was 2,405 with a 25% increase. Municipal was 7,037, 75% increase. Breakdown, personal crime 47, property 301. 2018 total calls to date up to September 11th, 6,482, rural 1,479, municipal 5,003, breakdown for rural person crime 42, property crime 189. So we stress the importance of getting more police for the rural watch.
Rural area.
Yeah. BC Hydro, we met with them. BC Hydro only owns the wooden light stands. We own the metal light standards. They will fix whatever lights are out. They're not able to donate lighting for our new ski board park, but there are many grants available on their webpage. We met with the Minister of Health, voiced our concerns on lack of senior housing. We have land for senior housing. Minister of Health and BC Housing are partnering up to build seniors facilities. We were not able to, we also spoke about we're not able to support a recovery center in the old Peace Haven as our residents are not for it. We met the gentleman Isaac Hernandez from North Winds Healing Center in the airport, and Ray asked him what his intentions were for the building. They've changed. He wants to demolish the building and construct a new one that would intake 1,500 patients for the course of a 3.5-year treatment, start to finish. We would like public consultation for any facility of this kind. Northern Health Peace River Regional District meeting, Ray met with Kathy Ulrich and Colleen and discussed the MRI clinic and seniors facilities. Business case is done, just waiting for the RPFs. She also met regional district with the Minister Adrian Dix about the hospital MRI clinic. Thank him and his staff for making our hospital a priority. We met with the ambulance service, explained the use of our volunteer firefighters in rescue attending calls and not being paid. The misuse of the ambulance being called repeatedly to the same residents in Koosgoopie, and the lack of the use of STARS in this area. Why are we not getting medical back planes to the north in a timely manner? And STARS is used in other places in the province. It's just, they won't use it up here. We met with Minister Celine Robinson on BC assessment. Was discussed of zoning changes made without consulting municipalities. They knew we were coming and did not compromise. We told them it had been going on for 10 years and why did it change. They also met with BC assessment. There was 2 managers that used to work here at Dawson Creek. They will try and work with Chris and have cookies put back to commercial property. But they still don't have to consult us, just verify what is actually on the property. I would like to propose that we take the resolution to NCLGA 2019 conference regarding criminal checks for councillors and mayors, fraud, spending money that doesn't help with the village. Conference was excellent, too much information to compute. I recorded most meetings, that's as Lorraine, she recorded them. The conference is very costly to attend for small communities. It cost us roughly $500 each for the 4 of us to attend in Whistler. That's extra. This is not very economical for us in smaller municipalities. I recommend that we don't do the Whistler UBCM. And South Peace Health Council meeting, they're buying Dr. Valeris's building for a McDonald house. Okay. So could I get some kind of motion that we set up a meeting with the school district and sort of get their feel on, because if there's money for daycare and it's January 2019, the sooner we have a meeting with them to get their input and their ideas.
Or they can put it in their budget, right? Their budget is what, March, Chris?
I'm not aware what the school district budget timeline is.
I just think we should speak to
That'd be our
them.
budget. That'd be our budget.
Our budget due May 15th.
May 15th.
What I mean is, wouldn't we put that in our budget because part of that school belongs to us, right?
No, not on the books. Really, there's
No?
nothing that says it's
That
ours.
1.3 million isn't,
No.
oh, I didn't
What
realize that.
happens is just an understanding that if they ever had closed the school down, that it would revert back to us, but it's theirs, so what I'm saying
Oh,
is,
okay, so we have to go through it.
yeah.
Have a meeting with them.
I think we should speak with them, because if there's money for daycare, and we've already talked to the Minister of Education, if we've got to build on more space for students and the AIDS room, why don't we look and get money I have information for daycare, and then
The Montgomery School has it from 0 to grade 7. And then
after school care and everything, it's already, the brand new
Yeah.
school already has all that. So if we talk to School 59 and say, yes, they don't have to commit anything, it's just, are they on board with us researching and looking at grants and whatever?
There's money available, right?
Yes,
That's what we're
Chris,
told.
Go ahead.
Yep, thank you. If council likes that idea, what I'd probably recommend is we can draft up a letter to the Board of School District 59. We'll put it on the next council
Wait
agenda
maybe for the
here
election,
in October.
because right now the seat is empty, right? Because Wayne retired,
Okay.
so.
But to address Councillor Smith's idea there, I think the best avenue would be to have a delegation of council appear as a delegation to School District 59 board and present that idea formally following a letter, so.
Okay, do you wanna do that?
Yeah.
We all agree? All in favor? Are you done?
Yeah, there was something else. A motion, but I can't think of where it was. Okay, I'll leave it.
Okay. And I have nothing, but Andre, you do.
Thank you.
You were busy too.
I was, yes. So I got a bit of other information here. I won't repeat what, you guys taped us, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, no wonder.
Between the
I was
two of
gonna
us.
say, how did I remember all that information? I guess I should have done that. September 6th, the PRD meeting in Dawson, I attended at 7 o'clock, or September 7th, sorry. The grand opening in Poos Park. I was a little late for you guys' grand opening for when you cut the ribbon, but at least I got there for the music and shut it down or whatever. The 10th to the 14th, I did attend UBCM, so I'll just go over quickly some of my notes here. Just so you're aware, the RCMP coverage for Poos is for the rural area, it's 4 police officers, 4 RCMP officers, but we were told that at this meeting that we had with the RCMP, that there's 2 members, there's 4 members, but there's 2 members that are on, they're off, right? So there's really only 2 members.
They're on maternity, the two are.
And, yeah, but there's, you know, like, there's
6,500.
there's 2 on, and then there's 2 away, and then there's 2 on again, right? So basically, we have 2 officers covering the Dawson Creek rural area, which includes Poos Koopy. So,
Tom's Lake.
at Tom's Lake and the whole area, so we
Rolla.
really are short of RCMP officers. Some of the local, for the municipality, they'll cover sometimes, but really, that's the ones that look after us here.
The only thing that saves us is that we have some RCMP that live here,
Mhm.
and we have some RCMP that live out that way. So when they do drive in, they will do a search, right?
Yeah, you betcha. So, and then I attended the Excellence Award, for Community Excellence Award, and that was one of the things that I was assigned to. And just so you're all aware, Hudson Hope did win the solar program for the main whole, all of BC. They're the ones that won the big award. And they should have, yeah, they saved a lot of money. I'll talk about CN for a minute. I had the opportunity at the one of the events to speak to a Fort Nelson counselor who informed me that he had just been told by CN, which they had a meeting with, that the tracks in Poos Koopy have been decommissioned.
They have been, I got my email today.
Did ya? Okay, so basically we could buy those tracks.
No, it has to go to a business,
Oh, does
and
it?
then it comes back,
Okay.
and then come back to us.
You know about it then, okay. So basically I guess they're decommissioned, which,
Well, it's declassified, it's not decommissioned.
declassified? Okay, so that, I don't like to hear this in the sense that for us to bring bigger industry into Poos, we need track, we need railroad
We
tracks.
can't send anything that way now.
They ripped it up, they're ripping it
So
up.
that affects us, as far as I'm concerned, that affects our economic development in Poos Koopy.
Well, they can't use the track
No, I know.
because of the.
But when you think of Canuna Mines, right, in Tumble Ridge, they had to have the tracks.
Yeah.
So for us, it's gonna be a detrimental to
Why
degree.
can't we do it as tourism instead, change it from a track to a walking trail?
trail?
Or
Yeah.
a recreational trail or something like that. It
We-
doesn't have to be
We're gonna
that
try and
impactful.
We will look at that, but the thing of it is, it's apparently very close to owners, other owners of properties, right? And they have a say, so my understanding is.
Chris?
Yeah, sorry guys, just to jump in there too on that same topic, I just actually got in my email inbox today the report from the company that was hired to do the 2 trail studies. One of their recommendations for Poos and Dawson is the old rail line, and they actually make mention there that it's still technically active and stuff, so at the time they wrote the report, they weren't aware of this information. This is really just bubbled up kind of this week, so I'm gonna bring that up, and chances are they're already aware of it too. So, yeah, if that's the case, you know, maybe that would be the preferred route for that trail.
So Minister of Education This is what I got from him, that he was saying it's only $200,000 for a portable. And he kind of just said that right out there. It was almost like he was saying, what's the big deal? Like, what's $200,000 for a portable?
Yeah, but there's many.
No, I know, but that was his answer, right? That's the minister talking, right? So for whatever reason, he almost sounded positive that it shouldn't be a big deal to put a portable in Poos. So that's what I got on it anyway. We mentioned BC ambulance already, so yeah, I don't have to go into that one. We'll get into agriculture here for a second. I went to the it was the district meeting for the Minister of Agriculture. And what I can mention is the ALR is going to change their zone. Right now they have a zone 1 and a zone 2 for up here. They're going to go back to a zone 1 and they're going to give better representation than regional districts for input. And basically that was what's said. I'm aware that my wife went to the agriculture tour, and the minister was actually on that bus, so I thanked her for being, but my wife was quite impressed with that. So I had that opportunity to do that. I will go to Minister Dixon for a minute. Well, I can actually just tell you what that's about. Minister Dix was actually, I had a meeting with him when he made the big announcement about the hospital, and he wanted to meet with local employees of Norton Health, which I'm one of them for HEU, Hospital Employee Union. And so after our talk about the geriatrics, there's 20 of them at the time, in the hospital on the second floor, taking up a lot of space, he apparently went to Norton Health and told them that they should start send people to the day away. So I took the opportunity to thank him for that, and he responded back positive that yes, it's because of what he heard from the employees that he wanted to make that happen. So basically, I know that there was 16 residents that went to day away the first week. They dropped that down to 10 the second week. They dropped it down to 6 the third week. And I don't know where it's at right now, but it's I think we're going to have to stay on top of that, because really it needs to happen at least once a week. And it's a Thursday that they picked that they do this, okay? We also talked about the situation with the mental health with Minister Darcy, who I happen to know because she was our business manager for a Hospital Employee Union. So I felt I had a good voice with her in regards to Isaac Hernandez. And we didn't talk about that. We didn't talk about that just now, right?
Yeah.
Was that in there?
A little bit. Not.
So basically, we heard that he was looking for some money in Vancouver, but he never came to council about it. Like his latest information that he's trying to do, he hasn't come and report to us what he's trying to do. I'm aware that Mayor McKenny talked to him at the airport and he kind of shied away pretty quick. So something going on. So we decided to have a meeting with Minister Darcy, who's the Minister of Health and Addictions, Mental Health and Addictions, and this was on the spur of the moment because of it. So we managed to get a meeting with her, and she was she's concerned,
Yeah.
and she took a lot of notes, and she will be checking into this too. I think it's not a great idea that we would, and also we talked about numbers, right? 1,500 a year, 2,000?
3.5 years.
3.5 years? Okay, so 1,500. And the problem with that, after the meeting that Chris and the mayor had with Isaac, is that none of these are locked in. So we have a situation where anybody can walk out of there whenever they feel like it. I'm aware that in a criminal situation, some of them could be placed there because of criminal activity and put there by the courts. Well, they're not locked in. And I think for a small community like Poo-Scoopy, I don't think it's a good thing. And I'm just putting it out there. Okay? And I think I'm gonna go back to what I was doing before. Well, basically I went to the Site C tour today, and it was really good. Basically it was a couple of 4 hours, and they took us all over. They've done quite a bit of stuff. So I took some pictures and stuff, and it was very good. And both MLA Dan Davies and MLA Mike Bernier were on that tour, so they took a lot of stuff, information too. And I'll say that that's my report. Thank you.
And we are.
I make a motion to move to in camera.
I'll second. I just